It's the Rush Hour with MG, Sydney's 104.9 Triple M, and across the Triple M network. MG, people love to read about superstars and bad boys. And this next man was both. The book is called Hard Truth. The man is Todd Carney. He joins us in studio. G'day, Todd.
G'day, how are you?
TC, I can imagine there's been a lot of people over a few years would have been asking you to put your thoughts down in words in a book. What made Tony Adams' offer appealing?
I think with Tony, he's followed my career from the start, and I've got on with Tony outside of a rugby league level. I had coffees with him when I was at the Roosters, so we got to know him really well then. And I just felt I've told him things in the past that didn't go past him, and I felt if that was the case, he was the right person. So there's heaps of people asking. I thought because I'd told him things in the past that didn't go past that day, I knew that if I tell him something about the book, or that doesn't go into the book, it's not going to go past there. It's not going to go to his mates, and then it's going to come out later on down the track.
So the trust.
There was a trust thing with Tony, and he had the time to do it. And I think one of the things I wanted the person that write it would come to Byron and spend a week with me and see how I live and just sort of go in day-to-day life and then ask me questions when he was ready. I've done a lot of it with recording at night on my own, but when he come, we'd go for coffees or go sit somewhere. And he'd ask me questions when he felt comfortable. And I felt comfortable with him coming to live under my house for a week. So it's it was really good. And I really liked the way the book came out for him.
Well, they don't call him the mole for nothing.
He knows everything.
He knows everything.
He knows everything.
I know myself through personal experience back in the mid-90s when I put a book together. The book company wanted everything. They wanted warts and all. And I wasn't prepared to do that because I would have incriminated a lot of my mates, to be honest. So when you sat down with the book company and Tony Adams, was there kind of what was the name of the book? Did you fight over that? Was there any creative, negativity towards the way you wanted it to be? And did you have to sort that out?
Yeah, I think so. Like as you said, if I'd obviously brought about everything that's happened in my life, like I said, I'd probably be in Goulburn jail. Like, I'm not saying that and like you said, I don't want to...
Being a rascal.
Like, it was my book, my name's in the book, that's about me. I was incriminating myself, or not incriminating myself, I was telling what was happening in my life, and that was it. But through the process of it, they wanted to call the book Trouble, and I said to Tony, I rang him and said, mate, it doesn't sit like with me because... Yes, I've caused trouble, but my career, the positives outweighed the negatives. So we went back and forth, and I just said, well, I'm telling the truth about the things that had happened. Let's call it hard truth. And it was hard at times, going back, obviously, to the death of my father, to obviously sitting down with Mum, going over things about my life, my career, sort of was definitely hard. And then, obviously, the incidents that happened, I just brought truth and the light on it. People might not like it, and people might read it and go, well, he's not telling everything. But them people were the ones that was pretty much had an opinion on my career the whole time anyway. And I wasn't out to please anyone. I was out to tell a story so that I'm comfortable with myself, that it's out there now, and I can move on from Todd's rugby league journey, I guess.
Yeah.
Now, I have no doubt people will want to read this book. Have you read it since its completion?
Yeah.
How was that experience?
Yeah, it was obviously, I guess, the same thing again, like going back over it, the chapter from my mum, and obviously my sisters, was quite emotional. And then I think the best part of the book for me was, and I made that I wanted the players to speak about me. And for players, obviously they're my mates and they're always going to speak highly of me. But just to read that, to what they say about you, was the reason why I play rugby league. And why I still love rugby league and want to give back to rugby league and still follow the game, watch every game as possible as I can. So that's why rugby league is the greatest game of all, because you get your mates like that. And just, so reading over that was really, I got goosebumps. I get goosebumps talking about it now. It's quite chuffed.
The irony of your life journey is that there was never anyone else hurt. I suppose alcohol played a big part in, like a lot of blokes, it starts with alcohol and then goes on to other things. But what do you think was the hardest thing to basically say and write down on, in words over the you had a really fantastic rugby league career. You got Dalian Player of the Year. You're a superstar, of our game. One of them guys who just seemed to do it so easily. But also you had the the notion to self-implode that it's at the wrong time. What was the hardest part for you to say, sit down with it and say it into a cassette or say it to Tony Adams or write down yourself? What was the hardest thing?
Well, I guess reliving the moments, obviously, at Canberra. And they're the things I wasn't proud of, what I'd done at Canberra. Obviously, the drink driving, because I'm bringing, obviously, society and other people in harm's way from my wrongdoing. So going back through that and the leading to the events of it. And then, obviously, the night of the bubbler. And it's still like blurry, because obviously it was a big night. And when like I said in the book, I woke up the next day, didn't know that. When I first got sent the photo, I was like, is that even me? What's going on? When was it? When did we, I had a scar under my eye from a game. That's the only reason I knew actually what day it was. So, so I guess going back and then obviously thinking about that and how reckless you are, was just, they were the hard parts. And like you said, the drink obviously was the main denominator on all of them.
And at your pinnacle, as MG said, you're Dalian medalist in 2010, you're the best player in the game, and that was the year that you swore off the drink. Do you look back at what you were capable of in that year in particular, and was being off the drink the main factor in your success in that season?
Yeah, I guess my first year at the Roosters, Brian Smith, the first day he said to me, "You'll be playing fullback this year." So there was everything that sort of happened that year was sort of all of a shock. And then, like you said, Smithy got me off the drink, and it was my best years possible. And like I said, I lapsed. I went away for the Australian team. I was lucky enough to play for Australia, something that I always dreamt of and had a goal of mine. And then I went back into a reckless bad habit of myself, thinking maybe I can sort of not go back into a habit, but thought I'd be able to go back into it and handle it.
Give yourself a little bit of rope, yeah.
Give myself a little bit of rope. Me being me, that either can't just dip his toe in the water, just go in head first. And I'd done that. After the Four Nations, went to Vegas, America, come back, and then just sort of had extra time off and just doing reckless things, I guess. And it caught up onto me again. Mine and Smithy's relationship fell out. Didn't play well had a few injuries in 2011. Obviously, drank on a booze ban at the club, and they moved me on, and then obviously went to Cronulla. And the whole time in my career, everything that happened, I always had a cushion to land on, which was rugby league. And that's why I felt like sometimes I'd be like, oh, well, if they let me keep playing, it's like I'm going to poke it again, and just to see if I can get away with it and think I'm going to handle it right. And everyone goes now, well, you still drink now and there's no dramas. Well, you learn how to do it. I guess you learn. And obviously, and the spotlight, no one cares who I am now. And it's quite sad to say that, but people out there to look at players to bring them down. As soon as something happens, the phone goes up.
Yeah.
So it's
amazing, isn't it?
It is. It's the way of the world, I guess.
Just back to that, the infamous bubbler. Without, obviously you can't say who took the photo or if you've spoken to the bloke who did and why he spread it, but a lot of people felt sympathy for you, because of the fact that you're in a toilet, but someone had the phone on you. Have you addressed the issue with the person who took the photo of you?
Yeah, I addressed the issue after it all happened. I just wanted to know why he sent it out or what happened. And his first thing was that he lost his phone, and then it went back to that he sent it to his brother, and then his brother obviously sent it on. But at the end of the day, like anything, I put my hand up and dealt with it, moved on from it, accepted the consequences. Never did I think I was going to get sacked or shipped off to France or England where I went. But everything happens for a reason, and I still went on to obviously achieve a lot of things in England and France, and that I was really proud of. But yeah, it's quite sad that was the end of it, because obviously the things early in my early days at Canberra was a lot worse.
Todd, you mentioned that cushion of rugby league and being able to fall back on it when things did go badly. Do you think that clubs and the code in general historically have maybe looked after players a bit too much with things like this? Do you reckon there's been that idea of, we'll pull the curtain shut and protect the player here, and maybe that's not a great thing for players, particularly young guys, when they do make mistakes?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess the clubs have got to have the players back and stuff, and everyone says with the fines and stuff, and they believe everyone earns a lot of money, so that the fines are going to be enough. But I don't know. There's so many suggestions and answers to that question. Yeah. To that question, because it just continues to keep happening. And that's why I always say that after when I'm ready and I've done everything and want to try and mentor someone, because there's going to be a kid tomorrow that goes out and does the wrong thing. Not means to do it. He's not going to wake up and go, I'm going to go stuff up today and wreck the game. It just happens. And how do we notify it? I don't know. I'd like to know, because hopefully that there is an answer to it later on down the track.
Well, with this book, that's a distinct possibility for a young kid who is currently playing first grade and reads the Todd Carney story, which is littered with so many fantastic things throughout your career. But you even tried to get back in the NRL just recently. What was the biggest stumbling block? What were the walls that were put up that stopped you from coming back in the NRL?
Well, I think obviously just being away from the game for so long. I got obviously an opportunity at Cowboys. I went to the Northern Pride for 12 months. Got a sort of a chance, open door at the Cowboys. And then obviously my mum got sick and I moved back to Sydney and signed at North Sydney Bears and thought I'd get an avenue that way. But to be fair, it was just that I reckon felt that there was no club obviously wanted to put their neck on the line. And because I guess that I'd failed it before and they were in a position that they didn't want to sort of have a slip up or something like that, because obviously my age, been away from the game for so long. So I guess that was probably the main one. But I guess, I did try, and I guess clubs just sort of shied away from it.
33 years of age, do you reckon you're still up to the level?
Oh, I gave myself a full pre-season, stuff like that. But
You're in good nick.
Yeah, I feel good, but I feel like the game's advanced again and again. They're just getting better and fast. I just love watching it. That's how it's going. I love the coaching side of it, and I want to sort of I enjoy the piece actually too.
Okay. Hey, now, Hard Truth is the book, MJ Cooker. We've touched. There's a lot of heavy stuff we've gone through there.
Yep.
I want to go back to very early on in your career, Todd. The single streak haircut. Talk me through it. What was the inspiration? What made you? I know. What went in your head and thought this will be a good look for me?
I copied it off. Oh, my sister seen it. Matt Giddo used to do it.
Yeah,
he did too.
Matt Giddo and Matt Henjack.
Yes,
they
did
used to do it.
Yeah,
and they were Canberra boys too.
Yes.
And my sister was a hairdresser. She just said, "Oh, let's do this." Sometimes it was pink, and then later on down in me little crazy times, I turned up to a trainer with blonde hair. I don't know how I got it, but it's
right. So Matt Giddo and Matt Henjack and your sister at a bloke.
Inspired that. Yeah. The hot cross bun look. I was only laughing about it the other night when I was on the current affair thing. That when I was there, how blonde it was and how weird it was. Lucky I was a kid.
Yeah,
well,
exactly.
That's right. Well, another part of your octopus was one of your tentacles are reaching out far and wide. One of my favourite shows to watch with my daughters and my wife is Married at First Sight.
Yeah.
And he is obsessed
I'm
with
obsessed with it. And then I found out Susie,
yeah,
one of my favourites on the show, well, that's your lady now.
Yeah.
How did this happen? How long has it been going on for?
Well, the world of social media, I guess. I think it was middle of January I started getting likes on my photos, and then
from her,
from Susie.
Okay.
And me being a womanizer, I went back and forth, and then I sent her a message one night and just said, "Oh, is we playing a game like for like?" And at this stage, I didn't know she was like that.
Okay.
Had done the film.
It hadn't gone
there, nothing. So we were there together and spent the first weekend together, and so we sort of kept hanging out. And then she was coming to Sydney. It was Australia Day weekend, and I said, "Oh, what are you up to?" Me being nosy and not really protective, I was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" She's like, "Oh, nothing, just going to Sydney with friends." And like, "Oh, who?" And she was really like, wouldn't tell me the truth, and I could pick it up. So I'm going like, "Oh," I sort of sent her a message. I'm not really into it. Like, I'm not
games.
Oh yeah, I'm not. This is a bit sus. And she goes, "Oh, I need to tell you something." She goes, "I'm on this show," and I'm like, because I don't watch. I'm like, "What show?" And then like when it fit, because obviously she got married on the show, and I'm getting messages from my mates. So because I didn't tell anyone for a while, and I said, "I'm not watching it."
So she's married on this show, but you're going out with her.
Yeah. And then everyone's like trying to like, obviously outside media is going, "Oh, that she's cheating on Billy," because people don't understand that. They're watching live TV. And people are at home messaging me going, "Oh, how could you do this? You wrecking the show?" And I'm like, "I'm not wrecking the show. The show was filmed 6 months ago. It's long gone." So I was like, and then I was sort of like thinking to myself sometimes, and when I watched it, I was like,
"Wow, now it makes sense."
is this real? I'm thinking, is she cheating on me now? I got caught up in the spotlight of, but no, yeah.
I think from the word go, she didn't like Billy.
Yeah,
I think you.
But
knew
it's quite funny what TV does there, because obviously she's completely different. When I sit down and I talk to her mum about it, and I said to her mum, I've never seen her speak to me like that, or maybe I'm just an angel. I don't know.
But it's ironic that you can sympathise with what she's gone through, because the public image of you, with everything you've gone through, I imagine is very different to what Susie knows of you as a bloke.
Yeah, definitely. And I think for me, she always says that what she had to go through outside the show, she got thousands and thousands of messages of people abusing her about the way she treated Billy, the way she was on the show, and that made the show made her look like a witch. It literally did, and it's quite. I felt good that I was there for her support, because she struggled with it, and the support that she got outside the show from that was nothing.
Yeah.
So, as she said, if I wasn't around, she would have struggled with it a lot more. But that's what I said. That's TV for you, and that's what comes with it. And if you're not trained to it, or you're not real trained to it from a 16-year-old kid right through my career, so I knew what was going on. Where if you just push straight into a show because you look good, well, good luck.
Without any training wheels.
Yeah, good luck. See you later. And then the show's over. See you later. Go back into the real world.
Well, one of the girls from there just announced she's pregnant, Cyrell.
Mate, we don't watch it. Todd and I do not watch that show.
Apparently, I'm having a baby. The Daily Mail takes everything. Oh, I said that I wanted a naughty boy, and I'm like, I'm having a baby now. Far out.
Hey,
can you confirm now that Susie's not pregnant?
She's not pregnant.
Okay, great.
Hey, you've spoken about the fact that you can hear how much you love the game in this conversation. You're still watching it most weekends?
Every game. Yeah.
Who's your tip for the comp this year?
Obviously the clubs I played for, I love. I think if Cronulla can get it together, they'll be there at the end. No, I'm not saying they'll make it to the grand final, but I reckon they'll cause trouble if they can get it together.
Especially if they keep getting to knock on the ball.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I like Canberra because they're going to get a home semi if they finish where they are. And then obviously the Roosters. The Roosters have got the most improvement. Obviously with Boyd Cordner or Jake Friend still being out and then putting on this performances they have the last sort of 4 or 5 weeks.
They're scary.
They've just got another notch to go. So it's going to be scary. But who knows? Like obviously Manly's unpredictable. Melbourne's Melbourne. But who knows?
Do you like the new strip rule? Do you like it? The one that Hodjo in Canberra has basically perfected.
They've mastered it, haven't they? But it's crazy, like that the young kid from the young 5'8" from the Warriors at Harris.
Tavita Harris.
Yeah, he's really good at it. It's like
Munster's good at it.
Because I remember when JT when fullbacks used to come back in, and obviously they'd go full steam ahead at him. And sometimes he'd tackle him and then rip the ball out. So there's a knack in it. And they might as well start practicing at training because it's turning games. It's like the Canberra game on the weekends. Turn that around.
I like it as well because Ricky Stewart was polite and complimentary about the referees on the weekend. We got to find this audio. Genuinely complimentary about the referees because of the strip rule. He said they've got it right.
But it is because in rugby league these days the competition for ball is taken away. There's all these, and this adds something to the game. If you just hold on to the bastard, just hold on tight.
Hold on tight.
When we told our listeners you're coming on the show, we got inundated. We asked on Instagram at Rush Hour Triple M, is it?
At Rush Hour Triple M, well done. We've had it for 18 months. I'm glad you finally got your head around it.
We had hundreds and hundreds, so we picked about 10. So 10 from Insta we're going to call this.
Yeah.
First of all, at Lachlan Kitchen says, when did you last head back to your hometown of Goulburn?
2 weeks ago. Went back to see. We had time off. We had Splendor weekend off in Byron because Byron everyone. So I got away and went back home and see my mum and sisters. So that was the last time I was there.
How's your mum going?
Yeah, mum's really good. Her health's really good. She's quite positive and she's going really well. So I'm happy. And when mum's happy, our whole family's happy.
100%.
So Goulburn, 2 weeks ago, and I usually go at Christmas.
Good on you. At JTC Needs, he says, what was your favourite club to play for?
I guess Canberra because I loved Canberra as a kid growing up. That's all I ever wanted to do was play for the Raiders. And if it was a perfect world, I'd be still there today playing with my closest mates. But, yeah, definitely Canberra. Obviously, then your experiences, obviously going to Sydney for the first time at the Roosters and at such a glamour club. And then, obviously, Cronulla. But, yeah, definitely Canberra.
Khalid or Jez, he just says, you're my idol. Can't wait to read the book. Good on you, Khalid. At the Warden 79 says, the best coach you played under?
I say Matty Elliott, one, because I class him as a close mate, and he gave me an opportunity to live my dream, to play NRL at a young age. So Matty, hands down Matty.
Dylan ex Joel, he says, "What's the three best things about living? Oh, sorry, three things about living in Byron Bay you never knew."
The actors or the actors?
Oh,
Yeah. I'm like a little
it's
kid.
like Hollywood up there.
When I first moved
you
out,
met
I lived in,
Hemsworth?
I seen him walking past with his dogs. Yeah.
Did you go over and say good day?
Nah.
What's he? Is he big? Like,
Yeah,
is he tall? Like,
He's hot. He's hot, yeah. And then I've seen Matt Damon stroll past before.
Wow.
Yeah. So and I'm like, you get nervous.
If we were interviewing them, they'd say, "I saw Todd Carney."
Yeah.
Maybe look, who's that? Who's that tatted idiot?
Okay, so at Shell Janet, just a pretty serious question. What would you say to a young bloke struggling to stay out of trouble?
Support. Obviously, and in saying that, I guess sometimes people that do struggle, that's the main reason that they don't have support. But for me, I had a lot of support. And what kept me grounded and kept me going forward is the support I had from obviously my mum and sisters, and then a close network by your close mates, the ones you trust, the ones that are there when you need them.
The dark days.
The dark days, yeah. So yeah, definitely that, the support. And if you don't have the support, reach out, find me on Instagram, and I'll give you some support.
There you go. This is from Weasel from the Gong, who's a regular contributor to our show, and this is kind of what this is one of Liam's favourite questions as well. Fold or scrunch, brother?
Ooh, it's a good question.
Fold or scrunch?
Fold.
Yeah, me too.
Fold. And lots of it.
Yeah, I'm a folder. I can't believe how you scrunch it up. You miss bits.
Sometimes clogged it up. They'll use that much.
Injectables by Susie Pearl.
Who's
out of 10, how much do you love Susie?
Oh, this is a
A loaded question.
yeah. This is like 17 million trillion.
Yeah, it's correct.
billion.
That is the correct
Yeah,
answer.
that's
to
loaded.
this.
Yeah, yeah.
At Sam Matthew 89, he says, "Who's the best player you have played with?"
Mitchell Pearce.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
And he wrote a beautiful chapter in your book as well.
yeah, I just got goosebumps
So
when
do
he
I.
said that. Yeah, he's Mitchell's out and out. He loves rugby league. He's life's rugby league. And just it blows me away how much he loves rugby league and how much he studies rugby league, and it's just how good he is.
You've got a lot of similarities, actually.
yeah,
I know how much you love it.
He's just he lives and breathes rugby league. I don't know.
No.
Yeah, I love Piercy.
You love him. You can tell.
Yeah, I just love. As soon as every time I see him, we give each other a cuddle, and we always message each other, and then goes, "I can't wait for a cuddle." Like he's just one of those blokes.
You know the Daily Mail's going to pick that up.
Yeah,
don't you?
yeah.
There should be more of that.
Sorry.
There should be more of that.
Yeah, that's it. I don't discriminate. I've got a purple beanie here.
Yeah, absolutely.
And finally, Sism07 says, "Do you still go for the Roosters?"
Yeah. While I'm down here, I'm staying at Boyd's house. Obviously,
He'd be
Roosters-
frustrated at the moment.
Yeah,
he's
he's
cuffed.
frustrated. He's frustrated all the time. Obviously, the way he plays, he's Boyd. He loves rugby league too, and he's hard as nails, and he hates letting the team down or not letting the team down. Hates being injured. So yeah, I do love the Roosters. They gave me so much, and some of the best years of my career. So definitely yes.
And just finally for me, complete this sentence. In 5 years' time, I will be.
I was still in Byron, coaching hopefully at a higher level. Not saying that because I don't like the coaching at the level I'm at. I'd love to be, still in Byron, still doing the private coaching, mentoring NRL kids of today.
Any bubs on the way or?
2 or 3.
Yeah.
Daily Mail, there's another one. Todd Carney wants 2 or 3 kids.
Hey, Todd, before we let you go, and we appreciate your time, the book is out today.
Yeah.
It's called Hard Truth. I want to ask you, you've played across a bunch of teams.
Yeah.
Presuming you could keep the night in control, 3 teammates you would be your dream night out. Which 3 former teammates would you take on your night out with you?
Jeez.
That's hard.
That's a hard one.
Yeah.
You take Mitch.
Yeah, I'll take Piercy.
Okay.
I'm going to say 4.
Okay, I'll give you 4.
Yeah. So obviously, always at clubs you go to, everyone goes, "Oh, you must have so many friends," and obviously everyone's your friend. And when you see him, you have a beer with him. But Piercy, Boyd, Jared Croker, and Wade Graham.
Oh,
Wow,
that's
that's a good
crew.
group.
Yeah.
Jared Croker's an interesting one.
Yeah, from
He's from Goulburn. He's me and Jared are closest mates. He's a lot younger than me. I love we as kids used to. Oh, not as kids. He was a kid. I was 18, 19. I used to pick him up. We'd go up to the Goulburn Workers Arena, steal the keys, flick the lights on. We'd be there till 10 o'clock at night. Go through Macca's drive-through, get a cheeseburger, frozen Coke, and then I'd drop him home.
Wow.
Yeah.
What? So you'd be with the lights on, kicking balls and
Kicking
stuff.
balls, yeah, playing games, and I tell you what, hates me saying this, but he used to beat me too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I love, me and Jared are really close. So
That's a great
yeah,
foursome.
I'd love them four. Yeah,
We might have to organise that as an end of year thing.
Yeah.
I like
yeah.
that.
Bloody
Well,
hell.
mate, you've been very candid with us. You've been open, and I think people are going to love the book. Father's Day is around the corner. So I know that I'll get my copy for Father's Day. The Hard Truth, the Todd Carney story. Well worth a read from a really, really good bloke.
Cheers, thank you. One more plug. I'm launching an app in a week's time. It's called Social Base. It's an influencers social media platform.
Good.
It's called what?
Social Base. Yeah.
Social Base.
Yeah, Social Base. Yeah. So it's an app that's got all social medias rolled into one, and you sort of scheduled post.
I like it.
Yeah.
So what brings your Twitter, your Instagram, all that stuff into one?
And, so like if you say we're here
LinkedIn.
now, yeah, and you need to post. You need to post while you're busy. We'll post for you.
Todd, can you believe that this bloke here is on LinkedIn? He
Oh,
can't
mate,
get enough of it.
I get most of my gigs through LinkedIn.
Is that I always get them emails from people from LinkedIn to join up?
That's fantastic, mate.
Todd.
Speaking opportunities from next level, mate. Not just you know the ones you try and get me.
Yeah.
Stitch
Yeah.
up.
So the 23rd
All
of
right,
this month.
Social
yeah.
Base,
Yeah, Social
23rd of
Base, yeah.
August. Keep your eyes open for that one, Todd Carney. The book is called Hard Truth. It's available today. Go and grab your copy. And I think, as you said, NRL clubs should all go and buy this. First-year players, it should be required reading. I like that idea.
Yeah.
All right, Todd Carney, thank you very much for your time.
TC.
Cheers.